I basically started this law firm niche in around April, which was around 3 months ago, and I am, and I've never been so humbled in my life. But yeah, we're gonna get into that later in the video. But yeah, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about my thoughts on the law firm niche, especially with voice AI. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, just a quick introduction about me. My name is Brian. I am 17 years old, still in high school, still trying to work things out on my own. And what else? I specialize in building voice AI agents. But first question I want to answer is, why did I choose the legal niche? And the reason I chose it was because I was tired of being a generalist, and I didn't want to target all the niches. I wanted to target just one. So I decided to do a quick search up on ChatGPT. And then ChatGPT highlighted that lawyers would probably be a good match for me. And I thought to myself, hey, that makes sense because my dad is also a paralegal. So I dedicated like two weeks on LinkedIn to learn about lawyers. I started connecting with all of them, and I started posting content directly towards them. And LinkedIn DMs didn't really work out for me. And after connecting with 20 people per day for like 2 weeks straight, I only got like 50 people to connect with me. And out of those 50 LinkedIn DMs that I've sent, only about like 10 of them saw it, maybe a few of them replied. So it's really slow when you're doing DMs. And then I got banned on LinkedIn because maybe it's because my acceptance rate for the connection request was so low, and my DMs were not getting like replied to. So that's probably why I got banned on LinkedIn. It was really hard for me to get back in, and I haven't gotten back in yet. But anyways, after that I tried doing YouTube content directly targeting law firms and solving like a pain point. But yeah, what else? But yeah, as I was saying, like the biggest mindset shift I had was when I just stuck to one niche. I became humble as a person because initially when I joined the law firm niche, I had an ego. I thought I was a shit. I thought I could just join in, start selling it, and I would just close these deals left and right. But no, that's far from the truth, because actually, lawyers are some of the hardest people to sell to, in my experience. But we'll talk about them soon. But basically, these guys are like really risk analytical. They are very sharp. They are hunters basically, and they are fighters. Because that's how they win their cases. And is it similar to other niches? Not quite, because I would say law firms, the way they handle calls when it comes to voice, the way they handle calls is a completely different realm, because compared to other niches like maybe a restaurant, a receptionist is just a receptionist. They just take calls, maybe handle orders, handle reservations or inquiries. But no, when it comes to law firms, intake, which is what they call it, is a completely different realm. There's books about it basically. It is its own profession, and they even have intake specialists apparently. But intake is literally the process of a caller calling the firm, and then the receptionist has to take them through the processes of like screening it, qualifying them, and leading to a consultation. But basically, if you're gonna jump into a law firm, you have to learn everything about intake, because that's literally how you're gonna make your AI agent. And then what else? Oh yeah, another thing I learned about specializing in one specific niche is that you learn so much more if you just stick to one niche compared to if you're a generalist. Because I'm gonna be honest, when I first started about law firms, I thought I already knew everything. I just did a quick search up on ChatGPT. I asked it, hey, tell me about law firms. And then I just read like a quick paragraph about it, and I said, okay, that's enough. But no, even to this day, I'm still learning more and more every day. But intake is so like, there's so much depth and layer to it compared to just like a normal receptionist at a restaurant. But other than that, I've also learned like a lot of ways how law firms operate. There's like different structures and status levels, like managing partner, founder, attorneys or counsel. There's a lot of stuff, but yeah, I just want to say that when you stick to one niche, you learn so much about it compared to if you just like are a generalist. But anyways, the way I did outreach, I did outreach by doing cold DMs, and I dropped that. Afterwards, I did cold calling. It even got to the point where I was doing cold calls in school. I had to take skip lunch breaks. I had to skip class breaks. Literally just a cold call, and every day I would stay back every day I would stay back an hour to do cold calls for like an hour. But basically I was doing everything manual. I was looking on Google Maps, looking for firms that had more than 10 ratings or more than 10 reviews and less than 100 reviews, looking for firms that didn't have 24-hour coverage. But that was my way. It was really scrappy, and everything was really manual and took a long time, but I had to do it. Okay, and then fast forward, I stopped cold calling because I realized that apparently cold calling to law firms is notoriously difficult. Like, I didn't know this. I thought it was just me. I thought it was my fault that I sucked at cold calling. But no, apparently it's well known that it's super hard to cold call law firms because, first of all, the receptionists and the gatekeepers are on a different level. These guys will like literally see through you. They'll see through your solicitation, and they will tell you to shoo away, take me off your list. Compared to cold calling other niches, like it's much easier to get through the owner, especially like at a barbershop, because the owners are like usually just chilling around. But yeah, even if you do get past the gatekeeper at law firms, you still have to get past the freaking attorney or the freaking managing partner. And these guys are so busy. Like, you can't even call them on Monday. You can't call them on Friday. You can call them in the late morning, and you call them in the afternoon. But those are the only times you can call, because the rest of the times these guys are super busy. They're on lunch break or they're in a court case. I don't know, but that's also another thing you learn about people in the niche. You learn like who they are, right? What else? Okay, I was also doing content, like really targeted content on YouTube, because if you've seen my other YouTube videos, they're all like law firm related. Either talking about a pain point, offering a solution, but that's been my strategy about it. So far I've gotten like one booked call from my YouTube videos, but sadly the guy didn't actually show up because he had to cancel like last minute. That's tough. But anyways, what has been working so far was that, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when I did cold calling, I actually was able to get in contact with one firm or one guy. But I feel like it was super lucky, because when I called the law firm, his personal cell phone picked up. So, or maybe it's not luck because I was pushing out the volume, but I still think it's luck. He was already nurtured to AI, because he already had a chatbot. He was already looking into AI, so it was really easy. He just asked me about like my background, talked about it, and we just booked a call later on. But my biggest mistake, literally, I lost the guy. Okay, I lost him, but I've also lost a ton of other potential clients in the past, and the reason being is because I was super underprepared, and I was super underprepared, and I didn't nail down my offer. Those two things. But basically, I don't really blame myself, because I literally just started like doing in the online business space like 6 months ago, or like 8 months ago. I'm still really fresh into this thing. I'm still learning things to this day. But yeah, opportunities will come. I learned this lesson, but opportunities will come, but you better be sure that you're able to take it when they do come. So be sure to prepare, especially in front of lawyers, because you guys will literally see through your fluff. But anyways, lost that guy. sadly. I could have easily put him on a retainer, and he was literally about to refer me to all of his buddies. That's what he said word for word. If you could do this for me, I will. If I like it, I'll refer to my buddies. That would have been the easiest road to 10K, but I missed out on it, sadly. But yeah, that was my closest I've ever gotten to like a law firm deal. Sadly, didn't work out. But yeah, what else? Does the industry need this? Yes, I believe so. Especially for solo or small law firms. These guys, some of those guys don't have after-hour coverage because a receptionist after hours is expensive. And if you want to pay for an answering service, most of the time it's really shoddy because they're literally just trained to just read off a script. They don't really understand your brand's voice, and the intake is also shoddy as well. But anyways, so that's where voice AI comes in place because it's literally a super trained staff member, 24/7 available, doesn't take breaks, doesn't cost as much as hiring a receptionist, and what else can it do? It's really good at qualifying. It'll just book all your consultations right on the spot, transfer, I don't know, but basically everything a human can do but better, and like works longer. But anyways, other than that, I've learned that if you want to sell AI to law firms, you don't want to sell on the features. Compared to other niches, you could easily sell on the features and they'd be like, here's my money. But no, in the way law firms think is it's really complex or simple compared to the average person. Like lawyers, these guys think in the money perspective or the time perspective. You can't just sell them on AI features. They don't care about AI features because in the first place, they don't even want technology in their firm because lawyers are a little tech averse. They're very strict on like potential, what is it called? They're very strict on potential regulations or other things or liabilities. But yeah, and then so if you want to sell AI to law firms, you're gonna have to sell it in the ROI perspective or time perspective. Either it saves them a lot of time because lawyers think in the billable hours perspective, or it saves them a lot of money. So if you could do one of those two, then you're in the green zone. So you don't really want to touch on the other features of AI or other angles. Literally ROI is like the strongest I've seen so far, because I've started doing cold emailing recently, like manual cold emailing. I would literally do the same method for lead research. I literally go to Google Map, I look for law firms that are like within a certain rating area and doesn't have 24-hour coverage, and I'll just add them to a lead sheet and then cold email all them manually. But what I found actually was that I can actually just go to ChatGPT, give ChatGPT the whole website copy of the law firm, and just ask ChatGPT to make a personalized email to the owner, and then simply I'll just send it out. And luckily, on my 7th email, one guy replied with a positive reply. He was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm interested." But basically, the way I positioned my email was that literally it just went like this: "Hey, congrats on being a super lawyer. You're losing like hundreds of $1,000s every year due to missed calls after hours. I actually built you an AI agent. Would you like to try it?" And specifically, I said I built an AI agent for their firm that actually knows everything about their firm. So that's where they see the value. And then the guy said, "Yeah, I'm interested," and I sent it to him. And surprisingly, he called it for like 10 whole minutes. He probably would have called it for longer, but then I had my AI call time set to like 10-minute max. That was like really dumb of me, but I should have set to longer because I'm so like budget tight right now. But 10 minutes is a lot. To the average person, that's not a lot, but for a lawyer, a lawyer giving up 10 minutes of their life, that's already a lot. But I'm gonna be honest, I was looking for the call recording. I was studying like how he was talking to it, but it seems like my AI agent checked out. It was able to do all the basic features like handling like FAQs, and luckily I was able to nail down a lot of the firm's information onto the AI because this guy was asking a lot of questions about the AI. But he might be a cold leader right now because I haven't heard from him since. I've been trying to do follow-ups, but I might give him a cold call soon. But what else? So yeah, I pitched this in the ROI perspective and just giving value or setting value, and yeah, that's where I've gotten. And also, really humbled me. I've had a lot of mindset shifts, especially when it comes to like my ego. I think I've been humbled a little bit because of how difficult, or not difficult, but how tricky law firm niche can be. But yeah, would I recommend this niche? If you're like a sharp person like me and you like targeted and you want to be a hunter, yeah, go for law firm. It'll be fun. But definitely the entry to law firm might be a little bit difficult for the beginner. So maybe give out another niche a try, and then maybe you could jump into this one. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to share my perspective on the law firm niche, where it's going, where I'm at right now, which is 0K per month, and I'm trying to get to 10K per month, so I'm still hunting. So cold email it is. I'll just keep sticking to that, and yeah, I'll see where it takes me from there. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, took some insight from it. This video is not really meant for lawyers to really watch. It's really kind of for my AI folks. But anyways, take care, guys. Hope you enjoy, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.